My name is Jessi, and this is my story. I had kind of a traumatic childhood with, my mom was an alcoholic, and my dad was just a really violent man, and they had unusual beliefs about God. They really believe in works-based righteousness, and they don't believe that the gospel is real. And I mean, I kind of thought that for a while myself. Like, I was like, I'm a pretty good kid. Like, I have A's, at least I did for a while. Or, you know, I'm not into drugs, you know, so I would think that kind of stuff and think like, oh, okay, I'm okay. But then it was like the older I got and the more mistakes I made, it was like if I believed what they did, like there was no chance for me. They said I developed anorexia when I was in elementary school, and part of that was I was really depressed and there's a lot going on. But I think the reason that it, looked that particular way was I started jockeying horses when I was 9. The thing was, they say in the horse racing world that every pound more you weigh sets your horse back 1 length. Like when they come to the finish line, they'll be 1 length farther back. And so, he was always like, don't eat, don't eat, don't eat, like you're too fat. And so I think that's kind of where it started. I mean, even after the racehorses were gone and he was gone, because he would come and go. He would be there for a couple months and then he'd be gone for a couple months. But still, it was like, for some reason it made me feel better to be skinny. And so that's just kind of how it all started though. As you grow up, I mean, when you start, you kind of adopt your parents' beliefs no matter what. But then as I got older, I got to the point where I really didn't think there was a God at all. And I kind of had existential views. So by the time I was college age, I got really involved in self-harm. I got to the point where I was flunking out of college, and they almost asked me to leave because I think they didn't want to mess up their statistics because I was suicidal. I ended up ordering this book on Amazon on one of the issues that I was dealing with, and in the reference section in the back, it mentioned this faith-based treatment program. So this treatment facility, it was a 40-bed facility, so there were all kinds of troubled people of all kinds of issues. It was just watching their lives change, and their lives being changed by this God that I didn't think existed before. And I didn't admit it yet, but I really started to see how wrong I had been about the Bible and faith, and I really started to kind of like the Bible, but still would never say that. But and then shortly after that, we were watching a sermon series, and it was on the book of Galatians, which is all about the gospel and how we're saved not by works, but by faith in Jesus. And that's something that I had never heard before. Of course, in the beginning, I thought they were all wrong and argued with everyone. But it was halfway through the sermon series, I just realized, through all the reading that I'd done and what they were saying, that it made sense. And that was what the Bible was saying, that salvation was through Jesus. And I still struggled with, obviously, lots of things after that moment, but things did start to change. It was the things I was addicted to, they completely owned me before that. It didn't matter, I hated it, but I knew I would do it. And it was after that I sensed that I had a choice and that I had more power to make good choices. I haven't enjoyed every aspect of my life. Really, I've hated some aspects of my life. But I'm so grateful that I had those real experiences with God and those real encounters with God, and I know He's real. I don't know, I didn't enjoy the whole journey, but I don't want to go back and change anything because then I might end up in a different place. All those addictions, they were horrible, yes, and they were really bad for me, but they're what led me to a place where I could, see who God was and get saved.